Hello and welcome to all you Cancerians. Welcome for your monthly horoscope for October 2014. And the most important that happens, I think, is the eclipse and the Mercury retrograde. So what does it mean for you Cancerians? Especially the moon is your ruler and eclipses are very important for you. And of course, as these eclipses are on specific dates, like in this case in Aries, the eclipse, the moon in Aries will be on the 8th, and the eclipse of the sun in Scorpio will be on the 23rd. But actually, it's the whole month that has the energy of those eclipses, as well as the Mercury retrograde. So that's why you feel it during the whole month, and even afterwards, or even during September, if you're watching this in September, because I'm uploading it a bit earlier. So what does it mean for Cancerians? Well, the eclipse and also the Mercury retrograde is all about the theme is breaking free of old patterns, and now is the time. And with breaking free, I don't mean to cut yourself off of things or people or whatever, but it is what it says, breaking free and putting away the limitations and seeing it in another perspective. Now, the areas of life for the Cancerian is a very important axis for the Cancerians is the 4th to the 10th house, which is home and family. So that's where this energy is going to play out. The Mercury retrograde and the eclipse, the total eclipse, I mean, of the moon. So let's talk about the eclipse. The eclipse is about, the eclipses, it has to do with two things. First of all, moon Uranus, which is all about liberating oneself. And secondly, it's about the Venus opposite the moon, and indirectly, the Venus opposite Uranus. But what does it mean? When people have in a natal chart the moon opposite Venus, it can be really challenging because it's an aspect of discontentment. It's an aspect of ambivalence. So feeling different things at the same time, and different things, I mean opposite things. So wanting the one thing but feeling the other thing, and the other way around. And this is stressful. We all know those situations that we want something but we don't feel like it. Or we feel something for something or someone, but we don't need it. So, or we don't feel that we need it. So it's this energy that causes stress, and the thing with oppositions is that it tries to create this dynamic of an opposition in order for people to get out of the problem. Of that problem of the division between the needs versus the wants. So, and what is the solution here? The solution is the Moon-Uranus conjunction. The Moon-Uranus conjunction is in Aries. So for you, that is the 4th house, which is your house. Your sign rules over the 4th house, which is the moon. So there is your key. So the key is moon has to do with needs. Moon has to do with what you need. And it's there that you Cancerians liberate yourself this month. You're going very deep in exploring what you truly need. Not what you want. You may want, for instance, this could mean that you want that job, which is Venus in the 10th house, or a new job, or a different job, or whatever, and you like it very much. But it's so in contradiction what you need, which is the moon. And the best thing to do is to not neglect this this opposition. So I'm not saying that you have to cut yourself off of the job, but I'm just saying to revisit this and rethink about it. It's also Mercury going retrograde in that 10th house. So it's going retrograde, which means that you're thinking about maybe changes, and you think, oh, I'm mixing them up. I'm so sorry. It's the same energies, but home and family. But I mean that with the moon and the Uranus, it's the need for the changes that they are very, very important to make for you what is. It doesn't matter if you need to change the work or the family, you know. When things go on these oppositions, it can either go the one way or the other. In very simple words, it can mean that you're going to change your job because you don't feel that you have a family life, or it can mean that you are going to change the patterns of the family because you think that you spend too much time there and not enough time at work. So it can go either one way or another. So it doesn't really matter that I just mixed those two up. I often see that in oppositions, that it's a team, and the team with you is home and family, how I can have balance there. So for a lot of Cancerians, and family is so important for a Cancerian normally, it's just a balance of work and home life, to reevaluate it and to make adjustments accordingly. That will be the key focus for you Cancerians. And I think therefore, because you Cancerians already you already focus a lot on that in general, I don't think it will be too much of a problem for you Cancerians. Although if you would have suppressed one on the other, so in other words, if you only look after your family and therefore you neglect how you are represented in the world, and you neglect your work, for instance, you're not going to feel good. If you're only going to choose for work and you neglect your family, you're not going to feel good either. So often the compromise of time management, for a better word, is very much at the top of your list here. To how can I be not feeling guilty because I do one thing too much in accordance with in comparison with the other. So it's a team that is so human, and certainly nowadays for women, when women are ambitious, there's nothing wrong with being ambitious, but they always have that mother role. And actually the same for a man. You know, we people want to be in balance and in a good balance. So maybe if you're a man and you've got this and you're a Cancerian, you may be spending too much time at home and you don't feel happy because you're not out there, or the other way around. So very interesting month for Cancerians, very, very interesting. And there's a solar eclipse that is in favor for you because it's in this fellow water sign of the Scorpio. So that is really nice as well, because that's where Saturn is, and that's where new beginnings can show itself. The fifth house is a very nice house, and that solar eclipse is in your fifth house of self-expression at the moment. And you can really feel that there are some new beginnings there. There are some new beginnings, maybe new hobbies, new types of creation, new types of how you've shown yourself. You're going to do that in a different way. That's the emphasis of the solar eclipse. So really deep emotional month for the month of October, and I think you're gonna like it. So thanks a lot for listening. If you want to have more detail of the lunar eclipse especially, and a bit of the solar eclipse as well, I made a separate video of that, as I mostly do, and you can click on the link below. Thank you very much for listening, you Cancerians, and see you next month. Bye bye.